National Association Photoshop Professionals. This way, if you subscribe with them, you can improve your Photoshop skills. So this is free advertisement for them. But you can see the content of a video in Bridge without opening it, without opening the document in say QuickTime or any other things. InDesign documents. This is an InDesign document. Okay, this is not the one I'm after. Say this one. You can see the content of the document. Now that's not a big thumbnail, but at least, because never ever you can see the content of an InDesign document on desktop. If I go and open this on desktop, reveal and Finder, here it is. You cannot see the content, so you'll have to wait for InDesign to launch. If you have 2 documents to open, this will take a long time. So you can compare within a Bridge. I guess the idea now is clear. I mean, why we have a Bridge? One of the main things is it's all visual. You can see the content of documents without opening them. And not only this, but also this is an InDesign document. Now I can see the metadata. Metadata is the information of this document when it was created. And even the fonts and links. These are links that are associated with this document. What are the colors used and the fonts used in this document? So for a pre-press person who's going to check the document before taking it to the press, they will really appreciate the capabilities of Bridge, because they can check the document before opening it in InDesign. Here's an icon in a Bridge. This is an Adobe InDesign document. This icon means there are links associated with this document. You can right-click here and choose Show Me the Links files. It takes you to the links. So this is a very quick way to refer to an old issue of your magazine, perhaps, or publication, and see the contents, see the links of the document without going into the document and going the long process of visiting the links file, links panel, and digging out for the links. I encourage you to use Bridge. Really, you will really save time, especially when you're working with production. Save time when you work with a Bridge. There are some other features that maybe the time is not enough to show you, but the good thing is you can select, perhaps like here, a number of photos, go to Tools, Photoshop, and run a script, an action that you have recorded in Photoshop. You can run, say, a batch renaming, also renaming and or running an action actually. So here I can run an action that I recorded earlier, or I can. Okay, what happened here? Back to Bridge. Select it and go batch rename. Instead of having the generic digital camera naming, you can go to Tools, Batch Rename, and quickly rename all the incoming photos as your photographer brings them. You can trace your steps backward in the like you can steps not only your steps backward but also the path of these documents. So if you want to trace your steps backward, you can just navigate just like you have in an internet browser, or you can go to the quickly to the previous folders that you have visited, or you can go in time and again go to the folders and documents you opened in a Bridge or you have seen in Bridge, or you can see the path. So these images resides in my hard disk in username, documents, folders name, InDesign, best home, and so on. If you double click here, you can quickly, if you know the path, you can quickly type the path in here. So this is a very nice thing, shortcuts in a Bridge. And Bridge also got a really powerful way of search. You could go File, sorry, here, let me just do it one more time, Edit, No? File, edit. Let's edit. I cannot find. So we need to look for documents. Give me a break. Okay. Okay. I need to search, but it's preventing me. So let me just go step backward. I don't know why it didn't allow me in that folder, but you can always search, find. Again, just as powerful as the you know the old Spotlight, the famous Spotlight search. It's much better than a Windows search. I mean, we know this for a fact. But if you search from within a bridge, it's much more powerful. You can here search the document type, so you can have only PNGs if you want to search PDFs, JPGs, MPEG, or whatever. You can have search only those PNGs with a keyword, particular keyword perhaps, that contains a Formula 1 or something like that. So anything, and you can restrict your search, or you can broaden your search to include subfolders. You can search all the hard disk. You can search the server, connected hard disks, connected servers. So this is really powerful, and it will show you either one of them, like one of these, either all PNGs, or you can have, if all criteria are met, means if the document is a PNG and contains a keyword of a Formula 1, it will show it to you only at that time. So there are some really, really nice features in Adobe Bridge. I please encourage you to use it, try it, and even teach it to your students if possible. Okay, before we move into Photoshop, any questions about Bridge? Do you want to show you something? Yep.
I have a question. Are there going to be questions about Bridge in the test, or just Photoshop?
A very good question. Yes, there will be questions about Bridge. Yes. And so whether you are taking Illustrator, InDesign, or Photoshop, you will find questions about Bridge. But mainly Photoshop, it will ask more about Bridge than any other application. But all of them will have a question or two about Bridge.
Okay, very few questions then.
Yeah, very few. Yeah, about maybe 2 or 3, not more.
Thank you.
But then, if you are, this is a good question to open a topic of the exam again. Have you ever worked with Camera Raw files? Everyone? If you haven't, then okay. Some of you did use. Like Laura, she used Camera Raw. I think, Laura, you teach photography and use Photoshop for photo retouching, perhaps, I think, when you introduce yourself at the beginning. So you need to know about Camera Raw, because definitely you will have 3 or 4 or even 5 questions from Camera Raw dialog window, or the workspace of Camera Raw, which is very, very important. I will go through this shortly to introduce Camera Raw and tell you what it's all about. Any other questions about Bridge? Okay. I believe you downloaded the assets for the training today. The assets, you will find it separated. I mean, you will find Photoshop CS5 and Photoshop CS6 separated folders. Did you download them, guys? Okay, I ask you to open the CS5 folder Now, even though some of you have worked on CS5 in the past couple of years, I will still go through the CS5 features, not only to show you perhaps things that you may have missed. I don't know, maybe you have information better than I am. You all are instructors just like I do. Maybe I neglect some of the features sometimes unintentionally. So let's just go through the features together here. If some of you are not ready, please let me know at the moment so that we can wait for you to start together. Okay. When you're ready, please open the CS5, Photoshop CS5, that is, folder, and you will find 8 folders there, 8 subfolders. We'll start with complex selection. Complex selection. The word complex, I shouldn't really use the word complex because for beginners, maybe they will find this as well. I'm not suitable for the complex thing. Well, this is a very nice feature in Photoshop that everyone will have to use. I mean, we will always have to select a person, a car, a fruit, a building, any object out of a photo, and select that image or select that object, and we call it masking them. So we mask the object, and perhaps drag it into another photo. So you always have to do selection. Selection has been improved a lot in CS5. Please open a document or a photo called 03 selection. This is the one. Please open it in Photoshop CS5 if you have CS5 there, or CS6 or CC, the latest version of Adobe. Okay, let me just go hide a few things. There.
Just a question.
Sure.
Is what you gave us 6 different from the 5? Because I just copied the 6 thinking it's the same. Depends on the version, or they are different things.
No, they are different.
Ah, okay.
Can you download it now?
It's going to take some time. I did download it on my computer at my office, but I brought 1 copy, so I need a few minutes to go and get it. Anyway, they only installed, I said, Photoshop Elements on this computer, which is nothing. I don't know why they installed it.
No, you cannot do this, unfortunately, in Elements. Can you arrange to have Photoshop installed for next session?
Yes, I can. Even now, I can go to another computer. I will go to my computer, then I'll, at my desk, it's fine, I'll do this now.
All right. Okay, back in Photoshop. Let's have a look at the layers panel. You see there we have 2 layers. These are 2 different photos, right? What I will do, I need to select these 2 people, select them, mask them, and superimpose them on the layer behind. Now, ideally, to start selection, I would use, if you all agree perhaps, since Adobe Photoshop CS3, since the introduction of the quick selection tool, I prefer to start always with the quick selection tool. So bring your quick selection tool, please. Okay. And I'm sure most of you, if not you all, know how to use the quick selection tool. Watch this. These are something new introduced back in CS5. If your brush is small, And of course, previously we used to click on the brackets, the right bracket to increase or enlarge my brush size, left bracket to reduce brush size. Nowadays we have another feature on the Mac. Hold down Control, Alt together. Okay, Control and Alt together. Keep holding them. Then with the mouse button, click the mouse button and drag to the right, drag to left. This way you increase and decrease the diameter of your brush, and you will have a reading. So it will indicate like a heads-up display, a small dialog window there which will show you, let me just zoom in, it will show you the diameter of your brush. And not only that, if you click and drag up and down, you're still holding down, you should hold down Control-Alt at the same time. With the mouse, go up and down. You make your brush softer edge or hard edge. So earlier, we used to go to the brush options and do these changes here. But you will have to really move your eyes away from your work. Now, you don't have to. If you want to select the scarf here, you can quickly reduce or increase the size of your brush and start selecting the scarf only. So this way, on the image adjustment, you don't have to visit any menu. Okay, let's start by selecting the girl first. Click and drag over the girl. You need to really watch out your selection. But I'm sure that you all agree that we cannot really select the fine hair on the side here, on both sides. We always used to give this lovely girl a haircut. I mean, in the past, we were stuck with the options Adobe give us. If we want to have more features, more options, we'll have to go and spend more money on extra third-party plugins like Mask Pro to improve our selection. Well, nowadays with Photoshop CS5, you don't have to buy, you don't have to acquire more plugins. As a matter of fact, let me just show you how to work on the Refine Edge, which is the replacement of the old plugin called, or the old filter called Extract. So deselect, please. Deselect. You all know how to deselect. You can go Select menu and choose Deselect from there. I have stored a selection there for you to start with. It's a very rough and simple selection. So go to Select menu, please. Choose Load Selection. From there, choose Modal Selection. Click OK. One more time. Please stop me at any moment. You can turn on your microphone to stop me. So what I did, select Load Selection. From Channel, choose Modal Selection, where I have stored a very basic selection there. So my selection goes around them, but again, it misses a bit of really great deal of the hair of this girl. I could not select everything there. Even for this young man. So what I will do, as long as you have a selection tool handy, whether it's Lasso or the Marquee or the Quick Selection, you should have a button on top in the option bar that says Refine Edge. Click on it, please. When you click on the Refine Edge, it will open a dialog window where you can place your artwork Okay, so now it remembers the selection. So it masks the background totally and placed it against black. In my case, you can place it against overlay, you can place it against white, or even against the layer itself, or you can have the marching ants, the common selection marching ants. Well, I will just put it against black for the sake of this exercise, really. I hope you're all following. I'm not going so fast. Right.
Yes. Can we have access to the recording later?
Yeah, I suppose that's why they are recording it. Yes.
Yeah, because I couldn't record. I'll do it later. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to take notes at the moment. Perhaps there's no time for you to take notes and exercise at the same time. So you can refer back to the recording, I hope. Dr. Fazal will be the right person to answer this. But I can see on top it says recording.
Okay, it's good.
Yep.
Thank you.
Now, next thing, I'm going to expand my selection. Expand it beyond my original selection. Here, edge detection. If you drag this slider up, somewhere around 30, I guess, for this exercise, you'll see immediately something changed around the edges of my selection. If you also check Smart Radius, let's see here. I'm just going to zoom in. By just dragging this slider, there are more fine hair have been selected, more intricate parts of the image has been selected. They were not selected earlier. I can even improve on this selection. Let's see here. I will use this brush. This brush is called Smart Radius or Refine Radius tool. It's a brush. I will just go and increase the brush size. Use whatever technique you know, whether you use Control-Alt, then drag with the mouse to the right, or use the brackets to increase the brush size. Then scrub over the outside of the girl's head. It looks like I'm really ruining my selection. But once I release the mouse, it detects where are the areas that should be selected. And it will go and neglect the background. Same thing for the boy. So these areas that were hard to select with normal tools. I mean, in Photoshop, you cannot just go really and select the hair bit by bit, piece by piece. So it will be really, really time consuming. So this is a fast way. What else? Now, if you are wearing, a light clothes, a light color clothes, and you're standing in front of a backdrop, say a green backdrop, someone taking a shot on you with a flash, the flashlight will bounce off the backdrop and falls on your skin if you have fair skin or your light clothes. So if they have a green backdrop or a blue backdrop, it will reflect on your clothes. So this is called contamination, color contamination. What Adobe did leave for us here in this dialog window, we have decontaminate colors. So click on or check decontaminate colors, drag it up. You will see the edges around like the hair here. It will lose any reflection, any color reflecting from the background. This is really helpful. So I drag the decontaminate colors amount to 75%. So all we are doing at the moment, we are enhancing our selection or refining our selection. We started with a basic selection for the boy and girl. We went into Refine Edge dialog window by clicking on the Refine Edge button in the option bar on top. We played with the smart radius. We used the brush to select more of the hair. We do contaminate color. Finally, we need to output. So in here, you can output to original layer in a new document, or what I will do here, I will create a new layer with a layer mask. So please select this option, new layer with layer mask, and click OK. Okay. Any questions? If you look at the document now, if you look at the, excuse me here. Excuse me. Photoshop. It creates a new layer and creates a mask. And the good thing about having a mask here, if you hold down the Alt key on the keyboard and click on this mask, it will show you the mask only. And look at the font here that we were able to select, at least on my screen. Really, I don't know about how good your selection was done, but nevertheless, we can always improve it since we have a mask in here. We can use the mask to improve our selection. Okay. Believe me, it was impossible before this Refine Edge. It was impossible with the basic selection tools to select such intricate parts of the photo. If you have fine branches of a tree, if you have a fuzzy weed like in a farm, and you have photo of farm, fuzzy weed. So you just really have to cut off, trim those intricate parts when you mask an object. How is it going? How is it going for everyone? You can turn on your mic if you like.
Just one thing, when you went into select and load selection, was that something that was previously done?
Yes.
To be able to access that? Can you show how that actually is done?
Sure, I will do that. Thank you, Mr. Gibson.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any question? Okay, let me just show you. Yep. Go ahead.
I can't figure out how to fix it. Yes, Heather. You have your mic off. Yes. Yes. Is that better?
Yes, it's better.
No, we can't hear anything.
No, I can hear you.
Volume up here now.
It's all good, all good.
You have to send your volume up here.
This is so confusing. This is horrible. Okay. Okay. Is that better?
Believe me, it's my first online training as well. So we're all on the same boat here.
No, in our room we just have volume on one and microphone on another. So, okay. If you made your layer mask too fuzzy, when you made it in the first place, how do you go back to make it closer to the model?
I think
do you have to start again, or can you adjust it? Can you go back and adjust it?
Yes, you can go back and adjust it to some extent. Not always, really. You may have to really start all over sometimes. But I'll have something to demonstrate for you, perhaps. So let me just give me a chance to answer the first question from Mr. Gibson and come back to you, Heather.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now, let me just open one. If you want to go back to the selection folder, the complex selection folder, and open 01 selection, or maybe 0B, any one of those, doesn't matter. Okay. Now bring in the quick selection tool, which is this tool. You will find it with the magic wand, but you need to select, of course, you need to choose the quick selection tool. Make your brush slightly large, I guess 100 would do. As long as your quick selection tool has a plus symbol in the middle, then if you click here once on the head, click once on the face, it will add to your selection. Every time you click, it will add to your selection. So either you click or scrub. So what I'm doing here, I'm click and drag over the clothes at the bottom here and over the head. And once you release the mouse button, it will try to enhance, and Photoshop will enhance your selection a little bit. So here I made a selection. You can see it's a bit loose. I can go and do this. Reduce brush size, Control-Alt, drag to the left or to the right, Control-Alt to adjust brush size. There. If I don't like the result, like here, for instance, under her armpit, under the armpit, I don't want this green background selected. It's part of the selection at the moment. So hold down Alt to subtract from this selection. You see now in your brush, you see a minus symbol. That means if you click here, you will subtract from a selection. Now this is a common skill in all, or a common feature in all selection tools in Photoshop. Alt to subtract from selection, Shift to add to your selection. I hope I made it clear. Now the answer to Mr. Gibson's question, once you have made a selection, if you close the document here without saving, or even if you save it, selection is gone forever. You have to do reselection every time you open the document. Instead, you need to go to Select menu, Save Selection. Okay, from Select menu, choose Save Selection, and give it a name. I'll just call this, I don't know, I'll call this girl with white jacket. Could be anything, but make sure that this is a new channel. This is going to be saved as a channel. I clicked OK. If you go to the Channels panel, You will find, of course, there were a few selections made earlier on this document. Nevertheless, we have made our own selection. So this is an answer to your question, Mr. Gibson. You can save any selection.
Thank you.
Save a selection so that you can refer to the selection in the future. No, Heather, I apologize. I may have forgot your question, really. I should really keep a notepad beside me here today. What was your question again, so I can explain? Right, Heather, can you hear me? I'm trying to remember the question, really. Right.
Hi, yes, I'm typing the questions, but I don't think you're seeing them.
No, I can. I can. Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry about this.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, so if you made a selection and you don't like the feather that you created on your selection, can you go back and adjust that?
All right, yeah. Yeah, now I remembered. I was going to show you...
And do you want to...
I just want to make the comment, Ed, is it okay if we type our questions in? Because we really have to adjust about 3 different machines to put our audio on. It's just we're all sitting in the lab together watching a big projection of you, and the audio is great, and we can all work on our own machines. But it just makes it quite difficult asking questions with the audio. But if you could just check the comments, it's easy for us to type our questions to you.
Definitely. It's just that it doesn't pop up in front of me, so I have to check often. Yeah. No problem.
We'll wave or hold up a question mark or something.
Well, okay. All right. Yeah. We'll work on this.
Okay. You want to mute that?
Okay.
Here's an example. This would be really, really hard to select this weed because of the transparency or the see-through kind of nature of this weed. So you can use the refine edge, believe it or not. I will start with the quick selection tool. You don't have, let me see if I left this for you. I think I have in the extras folder. Just a second, please. Maybe you can practice on this exercise along with me. So let me see, Adobe Lessons Extras. What is it called? 2BAB. Nope. Extras in Adobe Bridge. I'm afraid I didn't leave this for you. I didn't place this in the extras folder. Nevertheless, let me just quickly go through this. With the quick selection tool, I will select the core, the center of this weed. That's it. I cannot go beyond because really once I go beyond this, I will select sky and weed. So what I will do, refine edge. Okay, with the brush, the refine edge brush. You would think that what I'm doing is crazy. I mean, before we didn't do this in Photoshop. If you select it, then it's selected. But no, with this option, it will only select the weed. As long as you have selected earlier, and before you come into the Refine Edge dialog window, you have selected part of the object that you want to select. So it knows, let me just go and put it against a mask. Let me see if the decontaminate works here. To some extent, yes, but that's very good. Click OK. It doesn't show very well. Let me go in the layers. In layers, definitely it is selected. Now, to improve my selection, what I can do here, Heather, I can duplicate this layer. By duplicating it, I intensify, okay. When I duplicate it, I intensify the effect or the selection. Let me just go and create a layer in the background and fill this layer with any color. Let me see what other color I can use. White. Can you see this? I mean, it's, let me just select a blue. I'll make like a sky blue. Okay, here's Dubai sky blue. It's always grayish sky blue here. So you can see through. And you can see the weed has been selected only. I mean, does this answer your question? Now, you talked about refining the selection. Because I have the mask here, Heather, because I have a mask, I can always go back to the mask and work on it and adjust it, or I can even bring in levels. Check this out. Bring in levels and intensify my selection in such a way, like to bring in the my selection furthermore. This is really powerful compared to before, where we didn't have a chance to really select transparent or semi-transparent objects. Let's say it's a wedding dress, Heather. A wedding dress, a white wedding dress for this girl or for this lady, where it's like the bottom part of it, where it hits the ground. It is transparent somehow. I don't know what's called that kind of cloth. It's all flowers and it's like a mesh, a net where you can see through. So it's hard for you to select that kind of a cloth, or a curtain, a white curtain, a white net curtain. All right. Any other questions about selection, enhancing selections in CS5? And of course, when I say CS5, it was introduced in CS5, but it applies all the way CS6 and CC. I will close these documents, and if there are any, there are no other questions. I'll go back to Bridge. Okay, let me just refer back to. Okay, so it's called Lace. Heather says it's Lace. Yeah, no, I saw the. Fine. Okay. In Bridge, I would like to really always refer to Bridge when I work. So please go to second folder in CS5. It's called Content Aware. Content Aware. Okay. Bring in the first one. This guy's face, his back to the wall, like he's facing an execution squad. Okay, so he's. I want to remove this person from the picture. You can see in the layers panel, this is a single layer. This is a single layer. Please go to Select menu. I have left a selection there for you. Under Select menu, choose Load Selection. And the channel, please choose Model Selection. I have made earlier and saved a loose selection, a very loose selection that anybody can achieve, really. Now, if I tell you guys, if I want to remove this person from here without affecting background, what we'll do, some of you may say clone stamp tool, or maybe if you have used these tools here, patch tool, healing brush, definitely one of those will do. As a matter of fact, I will do something crazy here. I will hit the backspace to delete them. Try it. Hit the backspace on your keyboard. Now, ideally, when you hit the backspace before CS5, Adobe Photoshop CS5, you will be able to fill this selection with a pattern or with a solid color. Please choose Content Aware and hit OK. Yep. There you go, Heather. Backspace will work. Something called Content Aware. Content Aware, how it works? Really, it will go and read the surrounding pattern around this object that you've selected. When you delete the object, it will go and fill up the area you selected with the surrounding pattern. After it fills it up, it blends light and color. Let's do the same thing for the vine, for this shrub, the climber. Go to Select menu, Load Selection. From Channel, choose Vines Selection. Click OK. Again, you see here I've made a very loose selection. Hit the backspace, Content Aware, hit OK. Shall I repeat this?
Okay. Where is the object now?
What object?
What object? Delete it.
It's talking to somebody.
It's option then.
No, but really, it's gone. I mean, the object is that the one that we made a selection, we deleted it this way. Again, before, what we used to do, we used to use the clone stamp tool to delete an area. But with the clone stamp tool, it used to take a longer time, really.
No, but if we want to select and move it, did we lose it completely, or we can paste it?
Oh yeah, we can. I will show it to you shortly. I will show you another way. There are many ways. Really, let me just. Anybody have heard the word Content Aware before? I mean, what we have used now, it's the Content Aware fill. I want to show you Content Aware and the background of Content Aware, where it came from. Okay. I left you there a folder called Extras. Please open the Extras folder. Did you download the Extras folders, guys?
No.
Not all of you?
No.
Okay. Okay, you can download it later. Don't worry, Laura, and the rest of you, if you haven't downloaded. But let me just explain. For those of you who have it, we might as well just start with this then. In the extras folder, I left you a photo named, or a document named Beach Content Scale. Open it, please. Beach Content Scale. Okay, so the story behind this is as follows. I have a photo that is smaller than the canvas. A photo that's smaller than my canvas. Now, usually, if I want to fill up the canvas, I will have to go Edit, Transform, and proportionally scale the image, right? When I scale this up, it might get pixelated, it might not, but what I've done here, I trimmed, because I scale it up, I trimmed part of the image from top. So imagine if you have a VIP photo and you want to stretch the image across stretch it wide to fill up the, say, a cover of a magazine or first page of a newspaper. We cannot do this definitely. We cannot stretch it from the sideways. We cannot. It's a big no-no to distort an image sideways. Everybody gained weight. If it's a VIP person, a VIP photo, then really you expect something to happen to you, especially when you work in a newspaper or magazine environment. So, let's see what we can do with this. Mr. Gibson, you have anything to say?
No.
Okay. Back to the document. We have a new feature introduced back in CS4. It is called, from Edit menu, called Content Aware Scale. The Content Aware started at this stage. From CS4, Content Aware Scale. Please select it. And now drag the image sideways. Yes, you heard it right, sideways. You can scale it up, scale it down, without losing details.
Interesting.
Now, this is, there's a limit, of course. I'm not telling you the whole truth here, of course. But definitely, we didn't have this option before. Look at this, the gap, the space between those swimmers. Look at the gap. When I scale up the image, nobody gained weight here. Nobody became fat. Nobody was distorted. But the water, clouds were distorted. But who cares? Who knows? Really? Try it again. Only the gap, only distance between them get distorted. And that this poor guy here, the diver, is distorted also. But the ship, the main object, ship, the parachute guy, the swimmers were intact. Scale up. So how does this work? This technology was acquired by Adobe back in CS4. They bought the company that created it. The way it works, it divides your photo into regions, into areas. We call it atomic regions. So there are important regions and less important regions. It detects it by itself. You don't have control, at least on this photo. There was no human involvement. It's all Photoshop. Okay? The less important region will get distorted. The important region will not get distorted, will not be affected. Let me just open another image here. Allow me, please. I'm just opening another example. No. Excuse me, I will just look for the... There. Same thing with this example. If you check this out, now I will never ever do this. I will never go edit, transform, and scale the image sideways this way. This is really, really bad, unprofessional. So what we'll do is we use content-aware scale. And with content-aware scale, when I go and scale the image up, like so, as I said, it detects where are the important areas. Well, those people are important, so they were not affected. Before, after. Before, after. Well, their surfing boards were affected. Their surfing board were stretched. The sea, the beach, the rocks in the background were all affected. But those areas are not really visible. You cannot see the distortion. So what are we going to do here? Before I start scaling an area or scaling this photo, I will go and save a selection. See here, I made a selection. I named the selection as a channel, alpha channel. I saved them. So this way, when I work later, when I go edit, let me just try again here. Edit, content-aware scale. Before I start scaling, I have here protect my channel, the channel that I saved, my selection. Protect them. So now, when I scale up, those swimmers and the surfboards are protected. Before, after. Before and after. So content-aware scale is the beginning of the content-aware story. With Photoshop CS4, they started with content-aware scale. In Photoshop CS5, they added something called content-aware fill, the one that we just used. In CS6, they had content-aware move tool. So we're going to use them all. Okay, in the lesson, the content-aware lesson, where is it? Desktop, Photoshop CS5, content-aware. Please open the 01 content-aware. 01 content-aware. Am I going fast here? Do you want me to wait for you?
Which one are you using? CS5. You're back to CS5. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Because it seems your account has been disabled for downloading from Dropbox.
Yeah, I just read your message. I think because of so many traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I have the 5. I don't know for the rest.
Yeah, we need to download everything. I will try to activate my account one more time, but I will ask Dr. Fazl to share. I think he and Dr. Ken have downloaded earlier today.
All the courses are there already. Do you have specific folders where you have to put them?
But I didn't get your first name, sorry.
Lena.
Lena, you can use Photoshop Elements, I guess. You can use Photoshop Elements for this exercise.
Okay, no, I moved. I have CS5 now. I moved.
All right, all right.
I'm fine. Thanks.
No worries. Okay, please open this document and zoom on the top part of the image. I want to remove this cable from the foreground of this photo.
Based on your course, you just have to go to the folder. For example, if you're doing for I-454,
okay. What I'm going to use here, I will use spot healing.
All of the courses are just
okay, let's use spot healing brush.
have to put it in the correct folder. So if you're doing,
everyone is comfortable using these tools. These are, Lena, sorry, can you mute your microphone?
Sorry.
So just look for the link.
Thank you. If you are comfortable with this tool, let me just explain what this tool is. It's a replacement or alternative to the clone stamp tool, the old friend that we have been using since version 1, Photoshop version 1. Now, spot healing brush and healing brush, these two tools are alternative to the clone stamp tool. What I'm going to do here, I will make sure that in the options bar, content aware is selected. Okay. Bring the brush and make sure your brush is slightly larger than the cable. Don't make it so large or really smaller than the cable, but for a little bit larger than the cable. I know it's going to be hard to use a mouse with this. Okay, you know what we call this? We call it a bar of soap. It's slippery. It's hard to select through. So really, sometimes you need to work with a Wacom tablet with the stylus. This way, it will be much better to select small areas like here. So I'm going to start with this tool, spot healing. Click and drag over the cable in one shot, in one go. Even if you do it over 2 steps, doesn't matter. Try it, please. Content aware, it's really, really magnificent. When it comes to selection and deleting an object from photo, it's really, really good. Spot healing has the content aware feature also. Spot healing brush. Check this out. I mean, I don't have to really select an area. With this spot healing brush, go over any part of the photo and wipe it out. You know, when they introduced this back in CS4 or CS5, I said to myself, wow, I should really look for another job. Now, any kid, really, any spotty-faced kid can do this job, can do this without training. Really, I mean, this used to take us 5–10 minutes to select an object, remove it, replace it with the background using the so many techniques before to really mask the place and cover the place after we delete an object. So here at the bottom, I'm going to zoom on in the same photo. Just make the brush slightly bigger and scrub over this area. Release. I didn't like the effect. I'm just going to soften the edges here, make the brush smaller, and brush over it again. Let's see, a little bit better. I have to work on this one more time to improve it. Brush smaller. I guess I have to improve the selection, but you got the idea. Yeah, Margot, thank you. You have left me a note. It's so much better than cloning. The problem with the cloning is that you have always to sample as you go. Sample, clone, sample, clone. To restore a photo, I mean, sometimes it used to take us about 14, 15 hours to restore an old photo. With these new tools, the clone stamp tool, the healing brush, and the spot healing brush together, now we have, we can clone the same photo, or we can restore the same photo in 4 or 5 hours. It's a massive, massive time saving. Let me see if I have anything on desktop in the extras folder. In the extras folder, I left a few things there for you. Can you everyone please go to extras folder? I have left there an image called spot healing. Spot healing. Now this yoga lady, there is an object on the carpet that we want to remove really. So all you need to do is bring in the spot healing brush, make your brush slightly larger than the object, and click once. Okay, let me explain how it works. Let me explain how it works. I will look for an image to explain this for you guys. Okay, see here, now this image, okay, by mistake. Now this image, what I want to do, I want to clear this area of the mountain, the face of the mountain, bring in the healing brush. Healing brush works like clone stamp. If you haven't tried this before, I encourage you to try it. Really soon. This is very, very useful tool. Now with this healing brush, not the spot healing, but the healing brush, you need to sample. I want to clear up these bolt holes. So we need to sample, say, from here. I clone here. Or I don't have to really sample from anywhere close. I can sample from here, which has different lighting, different texture altogether. I sampled from there. You can see the sampled area that I'm holding got different color even. Click. Once I release this, the way this tool works, it clones texture only texture. Once you release the mouse, it blends with the surrounding, blends color and lightness. Let me just do it the other way around. Check this out. I'm going to clone this bolt hole. I will go and repeat it. Okay, really you shouldn't do this of your own. This is really bad, but because you know, we Iraqis, we're used to this. We spray machine guns all around. So what I've done here, I cloned the bolt hole. Wherever I place it, it blends with the surroundings. So I'm only cloning texture. I'm not cloning light or color. Does that make sense? Once you release the mouse, it blends with the surroundings. This is really, really good tool. Okay, there's a question from Ken. What's the difference between healing brush and spot healing brush? Before, there used to be a big difference. Spot healing, as the name implies, spot healing used to be for spots. You want to, let me just select something here, or bring an open a document. This guy to work on. So you want to clean up pimples, spots from somebody's skin, face, cheeks. You need to bring the spot healing brush. Spot healing, you make a brush the size of the pimple, for instance, or the spot, or the any object. Click once, release, it's gone. The way it works, it's samples from the surrounding area around the brush size, the brush parameter, I mean. It samples from outside, then clone it and paste it inside the circle, the brush circle. That's how it used to be. We didn't use spot healing brush for lines like these, the aging lines, aging here on the face, but now we can really. So really, spot there's a huge there's like the both are similar in some way. The only difference between them is that spot healing you don't have to sample; it will always sample as you go. With healing a brush, you need to go and select from left cheek. Okay, you need to sample from left cheek to clone on the right cheek, for instance. So yeah, here what I'm going to do, I will sample from this clear area of the forehead, and I'm using healing brush, not the spot healing brush. So these are the differences. We'll go and select here, sample here first. Of course, the way you sample, just like you do with clone stamp tool, hold down Alt, click to target an area. So hold down Alt, you see like the target, the crosshair for a rifle kind of. You clone from this spot, release Alt, and now clone by going over the area you want. So we didn't go much. Can we do this from one photo to another? A very good question, Heather. Just like we used to do. Yeah. Yes, we can. let me try this. I will go to Window menu, Workspace, or sorry, Arrange, Show Up, to Up actually. Show to Up. I will go and clone the bolt hole. Okay, go to the line. So yeah, you can clone just like we used to with the clone stamp tool before. You can clone from one photo into another. This was a question from Heather. Now it is 5 o'clock, past 5 o'clock. I can go for till 5:30 if you like, unless you are committed elsewhere, you are free to go. But what we need to do really, next session will start on time if you don't mind. I know most of you have you came on time or even before time today, but we had to start a bit late, and I started with the theoretical part. We didn't go into the practical until later. So if you like to go, you're free to go. If you want, we can spend 20 more minutes. Up to you.
Okay. I want to ask you a question. What is the last tool we used? Because we were mentioning two tools.
Healing brush and spot healing brush.
Yeah, but the last one where you took from one picture to the other, which one was it?
It's a healing brush, because with healing brush, Lena, you can only sample. You can sample from somewhere. As I said, you can sample from right cheek.
You need to sample, okay.
Okay, because like, let's say right cheek is better, got cleaner flesh, cleaner surface, flown from here into the left.
Okay, which one you don't need to sample then?
Spot healing. Spot healing, it samples automatically as you go,
okay.
As you scrub.
Okay, the names are confusing. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yes, yes. Spot. Let's just remember, spot means you want to remove spots.
Okay.
Even though we used it to remove the cable from the foreground in this image, if you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, we removed the cable here and from this image. We used spot healing brush, but remember, spot means if you want to remove any spot. Yeah.
Okay.
While the healing brush, if you want to remove a person.
Okay.
The good thing about spot healing brush, the advantage of spot healing brush, it has the content-aware capability. It really enhances your selection, and it enhances the replacement of the object you want to remove.
Okay. Does the name of which brush we picked up appear somewhere in Photoshop?
Yes, if you put the pointer for a second without clicking on an object, it gives you a hint. See here?
Okay, but it doesn't appear constantly even when you select it. Okay.
If you click and hold, it tells you the name. If you click and hold on one of those tools, it gives you the full name. Is this your question, Lena?
Yeah, but it doesn't give us the name appearing all the time when you're working on it to double check which one you select.
Okay, no, at the bottom. Okay, this is a good question. This is a very long feature available in Photoshop. At the bottom here, click on the right pointing arrow and choose, where is it? Current tool. So it will always show you which tool you're using currently.
Sorry, what did you click? Because we cannot see the bottom of your screen.
Is it? You cannot see?
No, just what is it? No, I cannot see it. What is it you clicked?
Okay, at the bottom left corner of your screen,
okay.
There is a percentage.
Okay.
On the right side of the percentage, there is maybe measurement or resolution. Do you see that?
Okay.
So there's a right pointing arrow. Click on this right pointing arrow and select current tool. Nobody told me that you cannot see the bottom of my screen. Can somebody help me and identify? Can you see the dock?
No, there's a toolbox that's blocking its view because you've got the audio and settings.
I didn't get you, sorry, Mr. Gibson.
At the bottom of the screen that we're looking at, because we're using Zoom, it automatically puts its own toolbox across the bottom of the screen.
I see. Okay, I understand now. Okay. Then let me shrink my screen. Photoshop this way. Okay, Lena, that now I suppose you can see this. So click on the.
Thank you.
Yeah, the right pointing arrow and choose current tool.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, so this is one way to keep track of what tool you have at the moment.
Yeah, thanks.
By the way, I mean, when you prepare yourself to take the test, you will always be going and reading from the help menu. So this is where you're going to study or prepare for the exam. Whether you have the exam aid or not, this is where you have to go and study. It's an extensive user manual, if you might call it. Photoshop help, Photoshop online help. It's opening it. All the topics categorized in a very simple way, but you see so much information in here, so much. It's about 800 pages, so definitely you will not read the whole manual, I assume, but this is where you're going to prepare yourself to take the exam. Help. Visit Photoshop Help. You can always check what's new in the Creative Suite or what's new in the Creative Cloud, Photoshop Creative Cloud. So here it says here, what's new in Photoshop CC. This is where I prepared for the exam, really, for the latest exam. So you need to visit this Photoshop Help. If you didn't visit this place before, I advise you to try it now. What you can do, you can say a search. Let's say I want to know Tools Panel. So I tapped in here, Tools Panel. I don't know why the security pop-up showed. Photoshop Tools. Let's see, I don't know which one. I'm trying to remember. You know, yeah, this is the one. When we used to have boxes, when we used to buy Photoshop in boxes, we used to have a cardboard of the tools panel for reference. We stick it in front of us when we work for Photoshop, InDesign, and Illustrator. So now you can have it this way. You can even print it. So where is it? I can scale it up. I can enlarge it, I guess. Please. Yeah, all these tools, you can refer to the tools, Lena, and of course, you can print the tools panel. I think there is a bigger way to enlarge this, or maybe download this photo, download the image. No, it's not really large, unfortunately. So you have this, you can go to Photoshop Help to read more about it as you prepare for the exam. Back to the content-aware. Please choose open document called 2 content-aware. Number 2, content-aware. I think this photo in Canada, in Quebec. Now, I want to remove objects from this photo. So bring in the spot healing brush. Click on the leaves on the ground. Simply. Like so. Any spot, you can remove it this way with a spot healing brush. How about if you bring in the lasso tool? I think you all know how to use lasso tool, I assume. Bring lasso tool and select around this lamppost. Let me try. Lose selection. I didn't get to Heather. What do you mean by save image as? But you also need to make sure. No, I didn't get you. Sorry for the chart. Oh yeah, okay. Save image as. I don't know if it's too large. Did you try it? Then if you download it to desktop, open it in Photoshop. If it's large enough that you can print it, so you can refer to it in the future. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. All right. What I did here, I made a loose selection around this lamppost. Let me try this. Actually, I don't know. I didn't try this before. I will go and hit the backspace on the keyboard. Fill it with content aware. Hit OK. No, it's miserable because it's messed up the background. It copied the door, the wooden and glass door. It copied the bench from somewhere else. So before, okay, yeah, okay, I got it now. No, it failed. It failed because of the background. Got so many elements in the background, so it wasn't successful. But maybe, okay, let's go select menu. I think I've saved something before here. Select menu, load selection. There is only one selection here. Click OK. Okay. But it will not work. There is a selection created there earlier. Hit the backspace. Content aware fill. Yeah, you get rid of the lamppost, but you have so many things in there. Again, with these flag posts, yeah, it didn't work well. In some areas, it will work. So you might have a success rate of say 50% up to 90% in some cases. Like the cable we removed from the black and white image, we had a very good success rate there. Close this document. Final exercise on this tool. If you can open number 4, content aware. Number 4, content aware. Zoom on at the bottom of this image. Go select menu, load selection. Click OK. What I've made a selection here is just those marking the parking markings. Okay, I selected them. hit the backspace, it will blend properly, I guess, because the background is all gray asphalt, so it's not a big deal. There are no not many objects in the background there, so it works. So it depends really on what image you're working with. Not with all images this will be success. Something like maybe over 50% will be considered as success, and the rest. So when you have 60% success rate, this 40% left over, you'll have to do it manually. You have to use other tools, other selection tools to get rid of those extra bits. Any questions? Okay. Any questions before we move into Puppet Warp? Puppet Warp, even with other tools. Yeah, I agree with you. You start with the simple tool to save time. So I always start with the quick selection tool header. I always start with the quick selection tool. Then after that, I bring in the I hit the backspace to see if I can get rid of the object quickly this way. If it didn't work, then I get rid of even my original selection and start using the healing brush or spot healing brush for this matter and try it. See, because you need to know all these selection tools, even those old ones that we stopped using, like the lasso tool, the magnetic lasso, marquee. We still use it in combination with the new tools provided to us in CS5 and CS6. All right, please open Puppet Warp. It's number 5, folder number 5, Puppet Warp. Open the elephant puppet. We have 2 layers in this document. You know, the elephant was removed using this technique that we just learned, content aware. Okay, we have 2 layers. Please work on the elephant layer. Okay, let's work on the elephant layer. Go to Edit menu, Puppet Warp. Edit menu, Puppet Warp. Before we have this Puppet Warp, we used to have something, a filter called Liquify. We'll talk about Liquify shortly, but you know Liquify from maybe CS2, CS3. We had it long ago. So now we have an alternative to Liquify. It is Puppet Warp. If you are seeing mesh, like here on my screen, if you are seeing mesh, you can get rid of this mesh on top in the option bar, untick Show Mesh. Please give me a chance for a minute here to show you how this works. Please watch my screen. I will bring the pointer, click on the foot of this elephant, on elephant's ear, bottom ear, top ear, on the head, then on the trunk, at the bottom of the trunk. Once you do this, what I'm doing here, I'm pinning. I pin those areas so they won't move. Then I can pick one of the areas and move it. Okay, so this is something new. I mean, we know Photoshop is a still image application. Nobody will care that you can move the object this way, manipulate it this way, but it is helpful. As I said, it's an alternative. You can do it, of course, now. You can start with it now. It's an alternative to liquify filter. So what you need to do, target top layer, go to edit menu, choose Puppet Warp, unshow the mesh if you don't like to see it, if it's obscuring your view, uncheck the show mesh, then tick on number of regions or areas on the elephant to pin those areas. Then you can move any area. You can move any pin. Yeah, I know we all said wow when we saw this feature back in CS5, but really, when you're going to post the image at the end as a still image, nobody would know what you did, but definitely it's a time saver. Liquify, see with Liquify, if you have a model, the girl, okay, Hamid is joining. So if you have a model and she or he is not smiling enough, you paid him or her thousands of dirhams so they can pose for the photo shoot, for the photo session or the shooting session, but he or she did not smile enough. What we used to do, we go to Liquify filter and just drag this the lips further out so that the smile will look better. So now with Liquify, you can do the same thing. Pin both ends of the lips and drag it. This way you stretch the smile. No, Heather says, can we animate? I'm afraid not. But you may need to try it. Of course, you can save frames. You can save it as layers each step. Then you can have these layers play as GIF.
Can you please just last? How did we get the pin? Where are we? In which mode?
Let me repeat it one more time. I will start over again. I pressed escape. Make sure that you are in the elephant layer. Okay.
Okay.
Go to edit menu, choose Puppet Warp. Found it? By the way, this Puppet Warp used to be in After Effects for many, many years. And they brought it into Photoshop.
But if I don't type it, I'm going to forget it. Just how are we going to register? Do you have a document with all those options, or?
No, I don't have handouts, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But is it worthwhile to see the video one more time later?
Okay. Okay.
So Puppet Warp. Once you have Puppet Warp, you can go and click on any part of the elephant. The more pins, the better, I guess. It depends on what you're going to do. Check this out, Lena. Check this out. If I'm going to pin one pin only, here on the elephant's ear, and one pin on the end of the trunk. Check this out. It moves the whole layer. So it's like you have your finger on a piece of paper on a table, and you're spinning this paper.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me show you another feature with Puppet Warp before we end the session. One more time, edit, Puppet Warp. I'm going to pin this elephant a number of places, like so. However, this time, in the option bar, I'm going to select Distort rather than Normal. Distort. This time, I bring the trunk up. It distorted. Okay. So this is different option. I have one thing in mind. Puppet Warp. Okay. Check this out. I mean, this is I have this photo. I don't know, for a building somewhere in the world. I made the top layer. I separated Burj Khalifa on a separate layer. You can see it here. Bring Puppet Warp. Pin Burj Khalifa, like so. And have you seen the dancing fountains? I swear I saw Burj Khalifa dance with it once before, so you can see here. So Puppet Warp will do this for you. You can pin areas of the object as long as it's in separate layer. Pin it, then you can either, let me just undo this and do it one more time. Puppet Warp. This time I'm going to distort. Pin. Like so. This time distort. So we can make this photo. If you want to trim this photo and you don't want to trim Burj Khalifa, make it shorter. So this is something that really opens doors to ideas and creativity to what you can do with photos.